everybody. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let me just check myself. Okay, perfect. I was because so with my YouTube replays, like live replays, they usually wouldn't post themselves, so I would post them. Let me just do a mic check as always first. So yeah, they would post. I would have to post them myself, like manually go unlock them so everybody could see them. And then recently they've just started posting themselves. And I was looking on one of them and the sound quality, because I was looking on this phone that I record on, and it's an older phone. It's an XR, iPhone XR, I think. So I had to, you know, I was looking on there and the audio was a little bit weird. Hey, Bee Pesticide. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You know what happens when I go live? So I go live and then it takes up so much of my energy being live, talking. I talk for about 2 hours straight. you know, so it takes up so much of my energy and my eyesight that I just want to be away from screens or like my phone. So usually people have told me on my lives like, oh, watch this or look at this, and I just don't get that chance afterwards to straight away, because the last thing I want to be doing is looking at my telephone. I'd rather watch TV. I'm kidding. That's usually what happens. Usually I go to eat, I go give myself a little snack or something. So yeah, like the last thing I want to be looking at is screen. So I know you told me, you know what, why don't we just do this now? Let me find your drawings and we can look at them, yeah? Shit, that's okay. Anybody, wait, let me check if you can actually hear me. Anybody, wait, let me check if you can actually hear me. You can. Good. अच्छी बात है. Okay. So yeah, let me check your drawings. What was your name on there? I feel like you sent me a message and you, okay, request. Wait, request. You said check my highlights. Hi. Okay, I'm Bee Pesticide Bharat. Is that your name, Bharat? Okay, let's see your art. History and drawing. Interesting. Oh, wow. Wow. That is incredible. That is incredible. Wow. So these are Bee Pesticide, the pieces of artwork. Look at that. I really like this one. I mean, they're all great. Oh, wow. Look at this one. Love it. Very cool. I love... Oh my god, you got loads. Oh, you're... Babby. I love any sort of creative expression. I saw this thing somewhere that said that depression is the lack of expression in one's life. Because it's like, what is it? So anxiety and depression are like opposite ends of of like an extreme, right? Let me show you, let me draw it out. What is the topic today? Well, I actually haven't decided the topic today. I just came on and I'm just letting God guide me. And thank you, 123 House. Thank you. Okay, so let's say there's a spectrum, okay? This is a spectrum. Everything tends to be on the end of a spectrum. So, like, for example, you could, like, hot would be here, cold would be here. We think they're so separate, but they're just on a spectrum, right? So hot would be here, then maybe like lukewarm would be here, and then maybe like a cool, like, I don't know the word for not cold or warm. I don't know. Neutral would be here, and then a little bit colder, and then like ice cold could be there. You see, so everything is always on a spectrum. So in terms of depression and anxiety, I would say anxiety would be here and depression would be here, right? Depression is very like low energy, going inwards, very like this, like tight energy, whereas anxiety is very like erratic, chaotic, neurotic energy, you know? They're just on one spectrum. Hey Vinay, how are you? You're on the spectrum. Okay, nice. Where is OCD and bipolar BPD? The line is infinite. Yes, the line is infinite. Because the thing is, it kind of goes into the whole like duality thing, right? That there is no duality. Does that make sense? Because it seems like there's duality, that like hot is here. Let me just write out for the sake of. Why is it not working? I'm gonna write it backwards, okay? Wait, it would be this way. Hot. I'm writing backwards, that's why it looks. Wait. Why is it not right? Alicia? What have you done to my pens? Yeah, none of them work. My board pens, you need to replace them. Cold, right? Yeah, my sister's used them all. She's clearly revising way too hard. So yeah, look, hot and cold. It seems like in life, right? What do we have? We have up and down, hot and cold, black and white, nice and evil, angel and devil. Duality, right? Polarity that exists. But when you really look at it, everything is just one. It's all on one spectrum. Like, for example, let me show you something else, okay? I need a piece of string. Wait. No, I have a piece of string. Let me show you. I'm going to explain to you very simply what life is like, okay? The reality of life. Okay, we have this string, okay? Let's say the line is universe's circle, is planets. Line is... Yeah. Hey, Vijay. How are you? When will I move to Iran? I don't know, I had plans. Hey, look, can you see this, right? This is everyone, okay? This is life. This is consciousness, okay? So what happens is... Let me try it out. I'm gonna explain to you. I saw this in a movie once. And it was brilliant. Okay, look. Can you see? Can you see? Look, there's a knot there. Let's call that Priya. Let's call that, I don't know, someone else, right? We'll call that Vijay. And that can be someone else. That can be BP pesticide. Yeah? So look, we're all here, right? We're all here. We're all part of this line, right? We're all existing right now alongside each other. And we feel like we're separate. I'm Priya. This is Vijay. This is BP pesticide. So we all believe that we're different. But this is what life is really like. You realize when you die, or when you're alive right now, I guess that's what enlightenment is. These people that are enlightened, they just realize there's only one. That it's one string, right? It's one consciousness that is appearing separately. Does that make sense? So there is, like, it always seems like there is a, like, duality, but there isn't. It's all part of one spectrum. Does that make sense? Like, hot and cold, like I said, they are just on one line. Nice, evil, or like, what's the opposite of nice? Mean, right? Nice and mean. Heaven and hell. It's just one spectrum. There is no separation between the two. People don't know, remember that you've been yeah, it's okay. The string demo is good. Is it? We get it. It's pretty. Is it? Thank you. I mean, I was watching an Eckhart Tolle video and thought I must share this with Priya. Literally, as I thought you were my name. Oh, I love that. You're gonna have to tell me. What was it about? No. All of this has been discussed in our Vedas. Yeah, exactly. It has been discussed. You know, the thing is, with the Vedas and the Upanishads, what people say, I mean, I haven't read them personally, but I understand and I really value the wisdom that is highlighted in them. apparently, to be honest, I've not even tried to look at them. I've only ever heard of ideas from there, right? But apparently it's like they may not be so up to date, right? Like, I think wisdom needs to be kind of accessible. For example, think about this. Think about the law that we have in England, for example, right? All the law that's written, all the legal statutes that are written, they're written in such a way that they make it very inaccessible for the normal person, for the lay person to understand them. And they're actually written for that particular purpose, because they don't want the layman, right, to understand these things, because they don't want the average person to have access or an understanding of the law, because it's not made for them. It's made to work kind of against them, you could say. So I'm not saying that the Vedas are made to work against people, but it's just that some people may have a difficulty understanding them at times, maybe. So it's always nice to have an update. Like, for example, I saw this video about Guru Nanak Ji from Sikhism, right? The first guru in the religion of Sikhism, and he's the same as Buddha. He's the same as Jesus in the sense that he came with the same message. Everybody comes with the same message because the truth is the truth. There is only one truth. But they just say it in a different way. They say it in a different language, with different words, with different explanations for people. Does that make sense? In the video, he was talking about glimpses of ultimate truth and reincarnation. That's so cool. Did you share it on TikTok? I'm gonna have to watch that. How are you, Priyaji? Chardi Kala. Kirpa hai. Aap batao. Hello, Shah Khan. Didn't know Shah Khan was into this, but why not? We don't have to be separate to have separate experiences, though. We aren't separate. That's the thing. Well, that's the whole idea of separation. Like I said, with the string, right? Someone said it's very simple. Yeah, it's very simple. It doesn't have to be so complicated. I think the simpler, the better. Everybody can get it. You know? What enlightened people realize that that we're all just part of one string. We're all one ocean, right? It's where the drop realizes that it's part of the ocean, and that's it. It's a really simple understanding, but it takes us so long because the ego, right? The ego is a system created. It has a specific function. It's there to make you think that you're separate. So when you and I think that we're separate, then it's easier for you to be mean to me. It's easier for you to think this is mine, this is yours. I believe that people who become enlightened, they don't like this whole like, this is mine, this is yours, this is my country, that's your country, this is my gender, that's your gender, it's men versus women, it's black versus white, it's I don't know, like whatever polarity you can think of. The sinners or the kuffars versus the religious people, anything that creates a separation is going against what religion truly intended to teach you, which is oneness. Like, if I had to just say one word to someone, it would be oneness. Like, to sum up what I believe, it's oneness. We are all like drops of water from the ocean, exactly, separate for the moment, but inherently the same as the ocean. I don't even think we are separate. It's the experience of being separate. It's like the dream of separation, but you're not actually separate. That's propaganda. You should know. Destroy the Google system. Okay, everybody. Oh, nice. Oh, thanks, Greg. Loving movies too. Oh, thank you, Arya. No Varno Jati discrimination during these days. Shank Acharya, Madhav Acharya, Ragan Guru have also admired that we're all characters in the drama of God. And he's like a player in the RPG. What's an RPG? We all playable characters. Yeah, we are. Okay, with that, I want to go deeper, because usually what I tend to, like, my belief was that we are, so in my life, right, everybody's a non-playable character. Is that non-playable? NPCs? Is that what that stands for? Okay. Yeah, everybody's an NPC. I'm the event. Not like Priya. Does that make sense? It's really difficult to describe. Like, everything is me, but there is no me. you know? The irony here is that one doesn't achieve self-actualization from a state that doesn't assert its individuality. Such a valid point, such a beautiful point. Thank you for sharing that. It is true. You know, they what I realized was that on the path, like when you like kind of come into this path of like being a spiritual seeker, or you know, learning about these different things, there is isolation that is important, right? You need to separate yourself from outside, kind of like society, people around you, a little bit to some extent. You need to experience solitude so you can go within and realize that you are the source. The source of everything is within you. Does that make sense? It's even like wording it is even a little bit tricky at times, because we're trying to word something that is the infinite, you know, with the finite language that we're using. But yeah, I definitely realized that I had to become narcissistic to a point, but there's a healthy level of narcissism, as in I'm not so concerned about other people's opinions. I'm self-sourced, right? I'm intrinsically validated. What's the word? Yeah, intrinsically validated. I don't need external validation. So the difference between that, I'm not sure if it's the right, if I'm using the right word, but you get it, right? It's like two people. Okay, one could be like, oh, okay, no, I don't want to do that. Doesn't feel right. I don't care if everybody else is doing it. Like if 50 other people are doing it, I don't care. That doesn't feel right to me. Whereas, you know, other people are extrinsically like validated. Is that the word? Where they're like, oh, everybody's saying that we should do this, let's do it. Does that make sense? Narcissism is healthy. Is my chat? Hey, yes, your chat is visible. Were you born in November? Yeah. How did you guess? Is it clear now, sir? Okay, thank you. There can be a healthy level of narcissism. The thing is, these are just labels, right? What I'm trying to say is focus on yourself. And a lot of times, what a lot of us get told, maybe not everyone, but like myself, it was very like focus on other people. Like like, you know, when people say like, what will people say? What will so and so think? What will so and so think? Or you know, what will your family think? You should do this. What will your parents think? Oh my god, I can't do this because my mom would say no. Oh, I wouldn't do this because my boyfriend wouldn't approve. Or, you know, how often do you do what you feel like you want to do? And maybe you do. Maybe you're not one of those people, but I know not everybody does. Sometimes, like for example, like trends, right? I had a short that I created where I said people who follow trends aren't authentic. Conformity is the opposite of authenticity. You know? So it's about like, it seems like narcissism because people think that being authentic may not be the norm and that you're being selfish, and apparently that's a bad thing. But I think it's important to value what you truly want. We live in a world where we have normalized codependence. If a terrorist held your kid at gunpoint and asked you to choose between saving them or a busload of school kids, what would you choose? Would it be selfish to choose my kid? Dharam Sankar. What would you say to that? That's an interesting question. Yeah, I'd probably choose my kid. Yeah. How you control your anger and your emotions. Okay, the thing is, yeah, I mean self-esteem. The thing is, it can be, the only reason I said narcissism is because people can be confused, because we live in a society where there aren't many examples of healthy self-esteem, right? If you have a self-esteem, if you are confident, you're too cocky, you're too narcissistic, all you do is care about yourself, how dare you not care about other people? How dare you not sacrifice everything you have? Especially like for I don't want to say this doesn't happen to men, but as a woman, my experience as a woman, I see this a lot where women are told that, you know, they have to put their family or their kids before themselves, right? before their own needs and wants. So how do I control my anger or emotions? I don't control them in a sense of like, I don't limit them. I don't say, oh, it's more so I am more aware. When you increase your awareness, you can see anger playing out. You see angry thoughts and you are witnessing them, because there is only observing, right? There's a part of you that can say, oh, anger. And the thing is, I spoke about this yesterday. Don't say I am angry, because that makes you anger. It's like, I am Priya, I am Indian, you know? That's not who I am. It's more like, oh, I am angry. I'm not angry. I am feeling angry. I'm experiencing emotions of anger, symptoms that feel like anger, but I'm not angry. Does that make sense? There are nuances to it. So I allow myself to feel my emotions. I like to go deeper within myself, to sit with them. I'm not trying to escape. I'm not reaching for a cigarette. I'm not reaching for a drink. I'm not reaching for food. You know, I'm not reaching for anything outside of me. I'm not thinking, oh, let me do some online shopping. Let me have some retail therapy. Let me spend some money. Let me buy something. Let me talk to someone. None of that. I sit with it. I breathe through it and I allow it to just leave. Because when you understand what emotions are, that's how they're meant to work, you know? And actually, tomorrow's satsang, I was asked to speak on this about emotions and PTSD. So I believe that's something that I'll be discussing in tomorrow's satsang. So I host satsang with Priya, which is held every Sunday. It's a sacred space, a bit like this, but it's more like a smaller container where we come and we have deeper conversations, and I speak and then you guys speak and then you speak to each other and we all learn and we share and you know, share insights, stories, experiences. It's a pretty cool place. So the link is in my bio if you'd like to join us tomorrow. 2:30 p.m. It's online on Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world. There are no excuses. Why are we all talking like grown-ups? I don't know. We're pretending. If you're truly believing that we all want, then blood should matter. The other kids should be just as valuable as your own kid. So it comes down to the impact on society and the greater good. I get that. I completely get that. To be honest, when I said that, you know what it is? I understand that. So if it was my kid or someone else's children, like loads of children, it would probably, obviously, like, I'm aware of the fact that it would be like, oh, that's my child, but you know, but it wouldn't be so deep. I get it. I get it that we're all one. Those kids are just like my own kids. Like, for example, I always said that I would adopt because I could love someone else's child just as much as if that was my child, you know, because love is love. It's not quantifiable. Like, I love you loads or I don't love you loads. It's like you either love someone or you don't, you know? The reason I said my kid was because there is no greater society. Does that make sense? There is no like objective reality. There are just different timelines. So I get to choose what timeline I want to go on. And if I want to continue in a timeline where if I have the option, I will save my child just because I can. The thing is, death isn't the end. I'm not scared of death. Death is just rebirth, you know? And Osho says something. He said only idiots are scared of death. Only people who haven't lived in alignment with God are scared of death. You know why? Because to someone who doesn't understand God, they will fear death. They will cry when someone dies. But people who understand death, understand God, I mean, they understand that this person is going back to oneness. They're going back to God, you know? It's joy there. So of course there's the pain of separation, but they never truly leave you. But if there's only oneness, no one's really leaving you. So those kids on the school bus, they're not really like, they're always there. Does that make sense? Like, but that is rolling out of love. I'm in. Okay, like pause. Thank you. What would you prefer to do if? What would you do if whichever country you're living in deported you back to India? First of all, I wouldn't get deported back to India because I don't I'm not a citizen of India, so they wouldn't deport me there. If I got deported back to India, I would be in India, you know. I'd be living in it. I'd just do whatever. Have fun, travel maybe. Yep, satsang full prayer. Thank you, Greg. So that's the link for the satsang on Sunday if you'd like to join. You go to the Gurdwara. Yes, I do. Which religion are you? I do not have a religion. Wait, you're not British, right? You're Indian, not British. I live in England. I'm not British. And thank you, Mano Mysteries. Dhanwad. Oh, life is only once. This is my view. There is life after death, though. Life is only once, but there is life after death. The thing is, it depends who you identify as. You know, it's really cool. Today, so I had you know, Jehovah's Witnesses. So Jehovah's Witnesses, I remember when I was younger. So I had a lot of reflection today. I learned a lot today. So Jehovah's Witnesses, they usually come to your door, right? Well, in my experience, when I was younger, they came to the door and they would be talking for ages. And I remember, I think my dad getting annoyed and be like, because he's very like on the atheist kind of side. So he was like, you know, like, oh my god, they came, hide, everyone hide when they come, so they don't see us and we don't have to go to the door and talk to them. Well, today I saw them and my initial thing was go hide, you know, but I didn't. I went to the door and I answered, and the guy said, do you feel like you're like there's someone who hears your prayers? And I said, yeah, I think there is. And they're like, okay, can we show you a quote? And I said, yeah, sure, show me the quote. And then that person showed me the quote, and it was something, I can't remember the quote, but something like, God hears your prayers. And he said, God is in heaven listening to your prayers. And it was really interesting. And he said, what do you think about that? And I remember, I said, I don't believe that there is a God in heaven. I believe heaven and hell exist right now. I believe God resides within every single one of us. And that, yeah, and, you know, he was talking about prayer. And there was something that important that I want to share. So prayers, he said, does God hear all of your prayers? Does he answer all of your prayers? Are all of your prayers like met? And I said, you know, what I've always heard is that prayers of supplication, so prayers of begging. You know, when we go to like I don't know if you guys ever go to like a church or Gurdwara or a temple or a mosque or a synagogue. I know someone tried to tell me I should get into Judaism. I would love to know why. What is your proposition? What can Judaism offer me? But yeah, like if you ever go to a place like this, a place of worship, what do? You go and you're like, God, I want this. Please can I have this? Please can I have this? Please can I have this? Please, 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 give it to me. I'll be good, you know? That's a prayer of supplication, you know? You're going in, like Osho says, as a beggar. You know, most of us are beggars. Please give it to me. Please just give me a boyfriend. Please just give me a car. Please just give me this. Please just give me that. Please, I really want to win this competition. Please, you know, like we're beggars. Always begging God. How often do we thank God? And just say thank you. Thank you for everything I already have. It's interesting. I saw this video and this guy was saying, you know, you use your eyes. It's from Guru Ravidas. So Guru Ravidas ji is a Bhagat. So a Bhagat is a very, like, I guess, a saint. And in the Shri Guru Granth Sahib, which is the holy book of Sikhism, there is a gentleman, should I call him, oh my god, like an enlightened being, right, a saint, who said something about this. He said, you use your eyes to look at other people and what other people have, right? And you're mad at God. You scorn at God, and you're like, I don't have that. Why don't I have that? I want that. Those people have that. They have that car. They have the house. They have the kids. They have the job. They have the business. Why don't I not have that? But you know what he said? Bhagat Ji, Guru Ravidas Ji, whose birthday it is today, he said, well, how often are you grateful for the eyes that you use to look at other people's things? Are your eyes not priceless? You have those and you're not thankful for them. We get given all these things for free. You know, you can see for free. You can breathe for free. You have health. You have life. You have knowledge. You have wisdom. You have the internet. You have electricity. You have family. You have friends. You have love. You have beauty. We have everything. Yet we're always thinking, I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that. Oh, you know? Jehovah Witnesses knocked on your door when we were having an after on our door when we were having an after. I invited them in, but they took one look at everyone getting on it and politely refused to come in. Could have been an amazing conversation tripping whilst talking to Jehovah's Witnesses. Wow. That would have been an insanely incredible conversation. You are such a coconut lady. If you grew up in India, you'd know these concepts about Atman and consciousness from childhood. You would have been educated from such a Western lens. Thanks. I don't know what you want me to say to that. It is what it is. Cool. Moving on. Waheguru. What was it? You know, the Jehovah's Witness. Like I said, I remember before, like, even opening the door, like telling my brother, like hide, Jason, hide, okay? Don't like answer the door, and judging them like, oh my god, they're just gonna be irritating, they're just gonna try to convert me, but like watch me tell them. But that's my ego, you know, and I became aware of that, and I love it because I can become aware of my ego and not judge myself. You know, sometimes like you have thoughts. Everybody has thoughts, right? You know, like thought, like negative thoughts, whatever you want to label them, mean thoughts, judgmental thoughts. But you have the thought, and then what you do is you judge yourself for the thought. That's like, I think, where the problem lies. But I don't do that anymore, and it's a really relieving thing. I feel free. Because first of all, you have the thought, and then you believe the thought. Second of all, you're judging yourself for the thought. It's like a never-ending loop. But you get, when you become just the observer, like the observation, the awareness, there's none of that. There's no suffering. Suffering ceases to exist, you know? Diablo. It's interesting. I don't think anyone's ever said that to me before, that that it's very clinical. I didn't think it was, but I guess it's interesting to get a different perspective. I would like to know why you think that, if you'd like to share. I have CFS. I don't know what that is. Are you shapeshifters with British accents? Oh my god. Funny gay. You caught me. I don't have a religion, guys. I don't follow a religion. You don't have to believe in, you don't have to have a religion to believe in God. Religion mustn't become your identity. Why does it have to become your identity? It's a path. Let's say you love, okay, let's say your favorite mode of transport is a plane. Okay, that's how you like to travel. But other people like to go on ship. Other people don't like planes, so they just drive around the whole earth, okay? There's other people who like to, I don't know, go on a helicopter, okay? Let's say there are people who fly on a private jet. There are people who fly on a normal plane. There are people who drive around. There are people who go on ship. There are people who travel the world on trains. Just because you use these to get to different destinations, right? Does this mean that you are the plane? Are you a PJ? Are you a train? Are you a bus? Are you a car? Religion is the transport. It's the mode of transport getting you to God, getting you back home. Why are you now suddenly why are you like, I am using, Sikhism is helping me. I'm learning from Sikhism, but do I have to be a Sikh? Why does it have to be your identity? Does that make sense? Like Yennefer Farm, I don't know. I don't watch The Witcher. You decide your world first. But if I'm in urgency, I would use an airplane. Okay. I think oh no, network drops. Oh my god. Talk. Let me check. Is it okay for everybody, or is it just Greg? Wait, let me check. You can. Wait, did I end it? Okay. I think it's okay. I think it's me. Okay, perfect. Whoa. God is beyond religion. God is beyond humans. God is beyond earth. We need to be more humble and not presume our importance to Bhagwan. By the way, there are already Gnostic or atheist schools in Hinduism. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Diablo, that's kind of the, the point that I was trying to make. God is beyond religion. Religion teaches you how to, it's trying to tell you, look, this is how one person did it. Like in Sikhism, look, Guru Nanak Ji's like, look, this is how I formed a connection with the divine. I became aware of my own divinity. Here's how you can do it. But it's up to the person to follow, right? But what did people do? They just took it and they were like, oh my God. They glamorized the path, the tool, rather than, than the whole thing being about love present in your heart for God, for the divinity. Because when you have love in your heart, that is divinity, because divinity is pure love, Okay, nice. I think we're taking this this travel thing. You see what I mean? Like this whole like travel thing, different modes of travel in a completely like off a tangent, right? You have a very important question for me. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Inner standing. Yes, inner standing. I love that. I love the word inner standing. I always try to make people understand me. Wow. But I think it's about you getting like understanding yourself, being Sikh or being Muslim is subjective. Well, subjective and not a personal decision. Well, subjective means it's a personal thing, right? It's not objective. Objective is it applies to everybody. It's like a general thing. Subjective is it's personal. So it kind of doesn't make sense. I don't think it makes sense for you, like maybe. Of course, like being a Sikh or Muslim is a personal decision, no? Like it should be. Love is, well, nothing should be. It is what it is. Love is how we're not feeling, but rather in action. That is very true. Love is who you are, and it's expressed through action, right? Like in life, you either make decisions from love or fear. I love asking myself that, and other people, sorry, look, you play on your heart's well. Also, when I said that clinical stuff earlier, I meant that you may not always find a way to scientifically quantify and analyze God or these concepts so easily. Sometimes you can only explain it as matter. You have a very valid point. Maybe I feel like you're reflecting back to me this like tendency to try to understand or explain everything when not everything can be explained or understood, not through the mind anyway, Being religious is a personal experience, but there are incorrect religion. There is True one. Okay. See, I don't think it's interesting you say there are incorrect religions. What makes them incorrect? Being a Sikh or being a Muslim actually comes from your family, parents, when you were born, actually subjective in broad sense. I get that, but like Osho says that no one should be born a Muslim or a Sikh or a Hindu. You should decide it because it should be a personal decision. I would like I had a Muslim friend, right? And I would always say, okay, have you looked at everything? Like, are you sure this is the one? Like, why would you just take something that's given to you and this is the truth, you know? Are you not going to use your own discernment? Are you not going to look around? It's almost like, for example, let's say, you're born in a certain country or a certain city and you believe that all, like, okay, let's say like, there's a story of like a frog. Let's say you're a frog that's never left the pond, so you don't believe there's anything that exists beyond the pond. Just because someone told you nothing exists, this is the only truth. But a whole world exists outside of the pond. It's like that. You can't be Christian. I am not. Love is integrate. I'm consciousness having a human experience. You're correct. Nick, I like that. Love is integrating people into yourself. Is it because you already are one with those people? Hate is making yourself out to be opposed or utterly incompatible with someone or something. It's true. It is true. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the three poisons, like two of them from Tibetan Buddhism that I learned about recently. One of them is, see, the integrating people into yourself. Like, I get that. What I get from that is they become you, right? Like, for example, your children, they're your child, right? So you're like, this is me, this is my family, is mine. It's like my arm or my leg, that's what my family are like. So their pain is your pain, their joy is your joy, like that, you're one. There's a connection between you two. And the hating thing is, yeah, it's separation, right? Anywhere where there's a separation, like this whole, like, what religion are you? Are you Sikh? Are you Muslim? Are you Indian? Are you this old? Are you this? Are you this? Like, what? Sometimes people ask me that, and I get it. You're curious, you want to know. But it's like, think deeply. Why does that matter? What category, what box are you going to put me in? And then what decisions or assumptions or expectations are you going to have of me when you put me in those boxes? I wanted to point out that the person okay, Nora Nicole. What is your religion? I don't have a religion, Nick. The divine doesn't have a religion. A religion is a path, it's a tool. It's not something, it's like a plane that's gonna get you home. I'm not using the plane isn't my identity. It's just the thing that gets me home. And when you're home, you have no use for the plane. When you're already there, you don't care about religion. When you're one with the divine, religion doesn't mean anything to you because you're already there. It was just meant to get you there, But what is your religion if you have one? That is true to an extent, but do you feel that souls also choose life they'll be born into? I think so. Hello from Vienna. Guten Tag. I used to live in Vienna. Islam is a room that you cannot exit after entering. Pour some man or steal or something. Okay. But how can a growing kid decide? Well, it needs mind like Osho to rebellious against some which box creates out of your mind. Kids will find their own way, I'm going to be honest, I think you're using worldly thoughts to describe religion and thoughts and seeing definitions of love and saying, I love that. Okay, thank you. True love is love from God. Okay. Is that your real... Is that my real face? No. I was gonna say, am I saying something else and is it being like taken another way? But I guess that's life, right? It's like Chinese whispers. I say something and someone else, like everybody takes it in a different way. And that's like the whole limitation of language. Maybe I'm just not making sense to me. I don't know what it is. Knowing your religion and background helps to relate to you better in language and cultural terms that make sense to you. Interesting. But you seriously look into the teachings of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was teaching you that you can be Christ like him, like Christ like. You can activate your Christ consciousness, right? That's the thing I get from him. Religion could be a wardrobe for your soul. Interesting. Okay. Vienna is good. Love that. I'm Orthodox Christian. Christ is the root of my identity and the connection between humanity and divine. Interesting. Love is like a mains power and circuit. By tuning into it, it fills you with life, source of every possibility. The highest state of being, romantic love, is borderline anti-Christic, I think. Okay, I love that. That's very cool. Yeah, I love the idea that it's a mains power in a circuit by tuning into it because it already exists within you, right? For example, a child is full of love and joy and curiosity and playfulness. And that child just came from God, right? That child is the closest to God. It just came from God. I mean, we're all God, but it's the ego, right? We develop an ego as we get older, but children don't really have an ego. They don't have a sense of self. So they're very in tune. Does that make sense? There's no separation between them and God. They're very open. And they're very in tune with that life source, like the source of life, right? With love. And yeah, the source of every possibility. God is everything, right? God is everywhere. So it is everything and all possible timelines. Romantic love, you know, I think has been really glamorized, and it takes away from other types of love. Like, love is love, you know? It doesn't, like, why is it that romantic love is the only love that's like, woo, the height of everything? I think maybe because it's the one that reveals the most. You know, your romantic partner tends to be your closest mirror, right? Like your strongest mirror of like you and your triggers. Advaita. All religions are poo-poo. That's so funny. But I think not following anything and being spiritual about existence is real deal. Okay. I used to live in Vienna. Jesus taught that by your own actions and allegiances, we either make ourselves to be children of God or children of the demons. Interesting, Nick. That's interesting. See, I think the demon or the devil that we all refer to is just the ego. You know? Religion is a way for the unintelligent to explain the universe. Why group? Nope, Jesus taught to deny yourself and put your faith into him. Shall be like Christ and take after his example, but putting your faith in him saves you. Okay. Your truth. That's cool. We're all God. I like that. Yeah, thanks, Gary. And being a child of God means you share in his inheritance, including his holy gifts and divinity through God's love, but in ourselves are not divine in essence. Really? What about the scripture? Know your be still and know that I am God. Yeah, be still and know that I am God. Isn't that telling you that you're God? Gary. Kids are some of the most selfish people I've ever met. That's hilarious. That's okay, I think. In the essence of Hinduism, God is in everything. Exactly. Priya ji, namaste. How are you? That's what I know in Hindi. Namaste ji. Namaskar. How are you? Tell me why you're so pretty. Thank you. Doesn't God have an ego? I don't think so. An ego is a thing that we humans have because this is a game of remembering, okay? We come here, we forget that we are one with divinity, that divinity resides within us. You know, it's a game, it's a playground. It's like, look, you don't remember anymore. You don't remember who you are. And it's about like, can you remember who you are? Can you remember that this is just a play, that you're just an actor in a play? think about movies. An actor gets given a role, right? Let's think about James Bond, okay? Everybody knows James Bond. James Bond, the actor, right? He is given a role, right? Daniel Radcliffe. Wait, that's not... Okay, Harry Potter. Let's go with Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe, okay? He's Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe in real life is not Harry Potter, right? That's not who he is. So he is given a role. The cast, the directors, they say, okay, you're gonna play Harry Potter. You have to talk like this. You have to be like this. This is the script. You gotta follow it, okay? Because this and this and this. These are the people in your movie, but you're the main lead. You're the main character, okay? That's like life. You had a discussion with God and you were like, God, look, I want to go and I want to experience this. I want to see this. I want to do this. And God's like, all right, cool. We're going to give you a name. This is the role you're going to be playing. Go. You're going to forget who you really are. You're going to forget that you're just one with me, right? You're one with God. Your divinity. You're going to forget your divinity. And then let's see if you can remember. And you're like, yeah, let me play now. Let's play. Let's go. I'm ready. And then you go and play it. An actor always knows, like Harry knows, like Daniel knows that he's Daniel, okay? He could forget and he could be acting and just get so into the Harry Potter role that he forgets he's Daniel. Does that make sense? You seem rather civilized for a human. Wow, thank you. Have I attained enlightenment? It's not something to be attained. It's something that already exists, you know? What do you think? Have you? If God made us in his image, does that mean that God sins? I love this question, David. God is everything. God is everywhere. There is nowhere where you can go where there isn't God. So God exists in everything. So God exists when someone is sinning, someone is murdering someone is lying, right? Because we're human beings, right? We're the ones that sin. I don't even like the word sin, but sure, we'll go with it. We're the ones that lie. I'm the villain in someone else's story. Probably many people's story. You know? So if we look at it, like, we're all sinners. But we can't just label people as that, like, you're a sinner, you're not a sinner. Everybody has done something that you may count as a sin, but I don't believe there is a sin. You know, God is in everything. God is in the bad and the ugly and the good and the, you know, in the holy. God is the whore. God is the Virgin Mary. God is everything. See, Nick, be still know that I'm God. I guess that's just your perception of it, right? Like, if that's what you believe, that's fine. That's cool. I'm not here to change anyone's mind. Jesus never said that he was God, but her. So, see, I think, you know, if you look at the Gnostic Gospels, I think you'll find a different story. God doesn't need to floss because she doesn't eat sugar. Yeah, exactly. Can you teach me English? I will pay for that because Cambly is too expensive. Okay, what's your normal speaking? Like, what do you normally speak? Hindi or Punjabi? Or whatever. Okay, so you don't... I do believe in God. I mean, do I believe in God? I don't know whether it's something to be believed in. Like, do you believe in the sun? Do you believe in YouTube? Do you believe that you're watching a live right now? Do you believe in the moon? Do you believe in the sky? And yeah, definitely. God is a woman, you know? There's this video that I watched that I reposted on my TikTok. It was talking about how like, out of a man and a woman, the woman bears more of a responsibility when it comes to creating birth, right? Like the egg has far more responsibility. The egg decides what sperm goes in. The egg is responsible for everything other than 50% of the DNA that comes from the sperm, right? The sperm gives 50% DNA. The egg decides what sperm comes in. The egg is responsible for creating the whole child, and there are many other things that go into childbirth that the egg is responsible for. The sperm is only responsible for giving half of the DNA. That is it. But the rest of the responsibility, the burden, is on the woman, right? On the feminine aspect. So the feminine aspect is actually very responsible for creation. So this cosmic womb that we live in is feminine. And you know, I was watching these like documentaries on the yogic path, and when you look at it, a lot of it in Sufism, in Sikhism, in another Bauli, I think it's like the Hindu version of Sufism, right? It's about love, and everybody says that God is the beloved, and we are the it's the soul bride, right? It's in Sufism, like all the songs, they're sang from a woman's perspective. Why? It's because for you to have a relationship with God, you need to have a relationship with the divine feminine. And what's happening is that the divine feminine has been eradicated, which means that people don't have a relationship with the divine. And when they go to religion, all they see is patriarchy, or like the male, angry, egoic, narcissistic God. So you're so far away from your divinity that you're easier to control. In English, we say you're pretty, but in poetry, we say I believe in religion because you are the divine light that guides my soul. That's so sweet. Gave birth to the universe, my friend. Yeah. I, the one who's speaking to, I am referring to the Messiah. What would it take to win your heart? She's a spirit falls, at least destruction and death. But thank you. I don't know, I have listened to Osho Krishnamurti, Alan Watts, some neuroscience. I don't know what I've tamed. I'm not a specific type in it. Okay. You need to understand the context of the scriptures in order to properly be able to interpret the scriptures. Okay. The thing is, who's to say who's understanding them properly? How can I say I understand them properly, and how can you say that you understand them properly? And I think maybe the question is, how much of an impact is this having on my life? If you have a life where you feel fulfilled, you have lots of love for God, like you're happy with your life, like that, your life is none of my business. Do you know what I'm saying? You believe what you want to believe. You interpret them in the way that you want to interpret them. And if they work for you, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you. If they don't, then I'm not sad. Like, it is what it is, you know, it's life. Yeah, I have no judgments or feelings towards that, you know? If it works for you, great. Happy for you. Do you believe that you're high? What? She believes in God, but she doesn't believe in God in a God way. To quote the great Carl Jung when asked if he believes in God, I don't believe. I know. I love that. Exactly, right? You believe in that which your actions support. If I say I believe a bridge can carry me but refuse to go over it out of fear, then I do not truly believe. Okay. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I agree God is a woman, but scientifically what you said is wrong. Is it? Is it? Okay. Sure. The thing is, it's not about being a woman, it's about the feminine energy, you know, that both men and women have. God did not give birth to mankind, but rather created mankind like into how a potter creates a clay pot. Let me just... The continual windows was coming to the British... Nick, that's interesting that you think that... Have you heard of the Gnostic Gospels? Are you aware of how history is actually created? And how history is his story, and history is created by the victors, and that's the same for Christianity. And if you look into the like the history of Christianity, like what that shows you. Shakti is the Empress. It's, you know, it takes a really, well, I was going to say a very confident man, but I guess maybe that's something that, a secure man to understand the power of the feminine. The thing is, look, no one is saying that men or women, like, one's better than the other. It doesn't have to be a competition. There doesn't have to be comparison. It's not about that. It's about understanding the different powers at play. And like I said, it's not about women. It's feminine energy, the creative energy that exists, right? The moving, the Shakti energy, and about honoring that energy. And what happens is, like, for example, in men, why do men have higher levels of suicide? Why is it that men struggle with their their mental health so much? Why is it that they can't express themselves or feel their emotions, or have, like, have that camaraderie with their friends? I know it's changing. I know it doesn't happen everywhere, but I see it a lot still, where men say, we are told we can't be expressive, we can't share our emotions. Well, if you look at it from one perspective, it's freaking crazy. It's wild how you can tell men who have souls, right? They're human beings. Well, their consciousness, right? They have energy flowing through them as emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. This energy needs to flow. And if it doesn't flow, it breaks down. It creates problems. It's like a car. If you don't put fuel in the car and use the car, allow the energy, the fuel to, go through the car and be used and be released, and, you like express itself, then the car will not work, right? The car will eventually break down. That's like human beings. Men are no different to women in that sense. Things work in the same way in that for you, and being able to sit with your emotions, being able to express is it's like a feminine aspect of you that is being repressed in you, but it's working against you. There's an agenda to it. Ultimately, it is all about this present moment. Mr. One, very, very true. Honestly, the thing is, I think the spiritual path can be confusing at times. It feels like we have to read everything, we have to watch everything. Maybe I need to do some tarot cards, maybe I need to do this, maybe I need to do this, maybe I need to do this. But the real person that gets to that level of enlightenment, right, is the person who feels like they don't have to do anything anymore. They've arrived. They are in the present moment at all times. There's nothing to do anymore other than to be present right now. So you're correct. There is only the present moment. So anybody can do this, It's about being in the present moment, honoring your heart. Your heart is the most intelligent organ. Your live videos make me so happy. You're incredibly beautiful. I have such a positive perspective about everything. Thank you, God. Thanks. So sweet. I like Jesus, but I never... Okay, I understood the king part. Okay. Men are typically associated with creating, and women are associated with cultivating, inspiring, and bringing their life to creation. Okay. Agenda, exactly. This moment is all existing. This moment isn't in the past nor in the future. This moment should not be memory, imagination, or show. What an analyst. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. So there are many ways to be in the present moment, right? What can happen is, let's say you get onto the spiritual path and you begin to meditate, and you're like, oh, I'm going to start meditating 5 minutes a day when I wake up. That becomes your thing, and then it helps you because in those 5 minutes you feel calmer, right? And it just stays there. You don't take this on into the rest of your life. You don't take this thing that you've learned about observing and being still into the rest of your life. So it becomes that meditation is like an isolated incident. There are other people who don't meditate, but who are present, who have this calm, it doesn't even always have to be calm, but just like this strong presence in the moment. They are grounded and embodied within themselves, right? They don't have to meditate, or there are people who don't do that. Maybe there are people who get into a creative flow. Like I always say, when I'm here, I'm in the flow. I'm not thinking too much. It's just coming through me. It's not me. Prayer isn't speaking right now. Life is expressing itself through me, So I can't take credit for what I say. Also, If I get it wrong, I'm not gonna like stab myself. I'm like, ah, yeah, you know? It is what it is, you know? It's just throwing out me, and I'm in the flow state, so it energizes me. Of course I get tired because I have to look at the screen. Maybe I should just sit and like talk with my eyes closed. I think I want to start that. Okay. You're amazing. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I agree with the previous comment. You're amazing. It's life. It's God flowing through me, you know? If, you know, guys, if you love this, I don't know if you're aware, I don't know if you've previously been acquainted, but I hold a satsang. So it's called Satsang with Priya. It happens every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. UK time. It is taking place online on Zoom. So it's where we have conversations like this, but you're able to communicate with me and other people in the satsang and have deeper conversations. You're invited to share your experiences, your stories, your insights, because I'm not the only one with wisdom, or, you know, whatever it is. Everybody has that. Everybody has great insights. Everybody has pearls of wisdom that they can share, you know? So I would love to invite you. The link is in my bio. So yeah, hopefully see you there. You're preaching the anti-gospel for women, the one that teaches that spiritually enlightened path is one of witchcraft rather than in the contemplation and taking accountability for your actions. See, Nick, you're being very presumptuous here. First of all, I think you need to understand what witchcraft is. There are different types of witchcraft. There are witchcraft where, of course, yeah, you do harm to others. And, you know, women, if you look at the whole, like, this was a war on women. This was a war on independent women who didn't rely on men that the church couldn't bear. Okay? Yeah. I'm not American or in America. Your country is a mess. I'm not American or in America either. My name is Priya. Do I hold guided meditations? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Is that something you'd like to see? Do you believe in Christianity? Do I believe in Christianity? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I believe all religions have truth within them. And it's about following the truth, you know? Going back to God. Going back to your divinity, and that's it. Drop the religion. Thank you, Greg, for putting that out there. Real alignment is seeking righteousness and making yourself like Christ in all things. Well, yeah, Nick, I think that's what we said, right? Like, it's activating the Christ consciousness within you. Of course, let's say when we are most in now, children playing, when we are hungry, when we are eating, the moment we don't remember past or future, we're involved in eating. I love that. Thank you. Oh my god. Karthik, that's funny. Hey, maybe I should say enter or attend at your own what's that warning people usually get? At your own expense? Wait. I don't know. Enter at your own, I don't know, discretion. I have to go. Just wanted to say thank you for what you do. It has helped me so much to come here and feel enlightened. Have a great day. Thank you, Netflix, for you. Thank you so much. Hopefully see you soon. Watching a movie in a movie theater, we are in present. We forget outside world, even if we don't forget that everybody in front is fake. You know, Mr. One, that is life, isn't it? We're all at a movie theater. The thing is, in the movie theater, you are you're living vicariously through the movie, right? You are the main character in the movie. You're experiencing what they're experiencing. Do you ever feel like this? Like, I would always feel like this. I'm watching anything. I have to be on someone's team. They have to win. If they don't win, I'm sad. Like, for example, let's say you watch football. I'll decide I want to be on this team. I don't care who they are. And then if they're losing, it's like, oh my god, I'm losing. Because you become one with them, you know? In a movie, you become one with the main character. They're sad, you're sad. And you forget your sense of self. You forget that you're you. You're just part of the movie now. And that's like life. Priya, I'm glad to meet you. Come to Uzbekistan. Thank you. Thank you. I will. Maybe one day. Love you, dear. You're doing what? Oh, guys, so much love. Thank you. Your English is so good, I'm unable to understand. That's so funny. Oh, bless you. Shall I know I speak fast sometimes. I'll try to speak a little bit slower. What is my opinion about AI? I like AI. Yeah. What's yours? And yeah, Doc GB, thank you. Yeah, identification, right? Identification, identity, who are you? Who is the self, you know? What's wrong with you? What I think that question is the problem here. There is nada. Perfection. I'm made in the image of God. There's only perfection here. I'm not understanding anything but continuously watching your face. So धन्यवाद आपका. Hindi? Punjabi? Maybe a different one? I don't know. I don't have a favorite meal. I've not answered why I like AI. AI is useful. This is copper, yes. Yeah, I find AI to be useful. It helps me. So what is your job? I am a life coach. So I do this for a living, you know. I help people recognize their divinity. Like I help, like hopefully I try to do my bit, you know. But yeah, I offer one-to-one coaching to people who are in need of, wait, what day is it today? Okay, sorry, I just remembered I have a client meeting at some point. Very good, I have to go. Thank you for your cool thoughts. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for your thoughts. You're a God devotee, then you should practice it separately. What does that mean? You have stolen my one thing, and that's legal. Imagine if an AI was fed with all your thoughts and perspectives, then it can clone of you. How would it make you feel? Just trying to understand if you dislike in some cases. I would be fine with it. I don't really care. It is what it is. What can I do? You know, I think that's the one thing about human beings. We always feel like we have to like something or we have to be attached to it or have an aversion to it. You don't have to have an opinion about everything, you know? It can just be what it is, you know? You can just be yeah, it can just be like that. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not from Europe. I'm from India and I'm studying English. However, try. Yeah, like Greg said, your English is amazing. I didn't realize that there wasn't any problem, to be honest. I still don't get what this stream is about. Welcome, Spynet Gaming. Well, you kind of caused mid-conversation, so I get why you would be a little bit confused. On this stream, we discuss, my phone is vibrating. We, you know, we have discussions about different concepts, about God, about religion, what religion is used for, about consciousness, about the divinity that exists within you, things like that, you know? Jeremy, you know, you're one person who truly fascinates me. Like some of the comments you leave under my videos, I'm fascinated by them. Greg, I don't think Jeremy likes you, honestly. But yeah, it sounds interesting. Thank you. Are there any questions that you would like for me to answer regarding any of this? Mr. Wisdom. Hi, Adele. Wait, I think I remember you. Miss my wisdom. Adele, guess what? I hold satsangs every Sunday. So it's where it's like a sacred container. So it happens on Zoom. It happens every Sunday. I think you're based in the UK, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, they happen every Sunday. We have different themes that we discuss, and then I'll discuss and share some things, and then you get to discuss, and it's like a really cool conversation that everybody has. Everybody shares their insights, their experiences, their stories. So if you'd like to join us on Sunday, it's happening this Sunday, so tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. The link is in my bio. Let me know. Manifestation is real, please tell me. Sorry, I didn't know if that was a question. I thought it was a statement. Yeah, of course manifestation is real. Yeah, it's happening all the time, right? You've been manifestation is creation. It's just a word for creation, and you're creating at all times. This is Greg. Okay, so let's say if your influences are led to making 1,000 people thinking with the same philosophies and perspectives you hold, is that a good thing? It's not about holding the same philosophies that I hold or the perspectives that I hold. I think I want people to go inwards, find your own truth. You don't need to, my perspective is my perspective, right? It may not be the truth. I just want people to think a little bit deeper, think a little bit more expansively than they may have about life, about who they are, about the truth, So if I can get people to think about that, I think that's success, But it's not like the point of this isn't success. I just like to have these conversations. So you could say that it's maybe a little bit of that and a little bit of maybe of like, I just like to have fun. Like these are the things I love to talk about. This is just what I like to do, Sorry, let me check if it's charged. Where's the charger? Sorry. Okay, wait. Give me a second. Why is this? Okay. Yeah. How did you drop? Oh. Wait. Give me a second. Where is this charger? Okay. Where have you gone? God, oh yeah. Okay, wait. Hey, wait, where's the other end of... Sorry, it's my laptop, and the laptop is like responsible for the bright light. I don't know. I guess when the laptop dies, that's it. That's time for me to go. Okay. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be here for too long. Okay. Yo, why are you focused on negative comments about the Matrix? Am I? To me, human consciousness is nothing more than the universe trying to understand itself. I like that. Trying to understand itself, trying to experience itself, right? Trying to have fun. Matrix is a concept. As a concept, is stupid. Okay, yeah, why do you think that? Let's just do this because... If it's not personal, what is your education background? Okay. My education background is that I started my degree in criminology and I didn't complete it. I dropped out. I didn't want to complete it. It didn't feel right to me. I didn't think that I needed a certificate to tell me that I'm intelligent or worthy. And I just didn't feel like doing it anymore, so I left. So you are a criminal. Yes, I studied criminology, so I'm a criminal. I'm everything, Greg, I just timed him out. He's, I don't think he's Batman using a different name. He's a thing of his own. Hey, Primal Wellness. The world would have let if they met. Gotta think. You should be a writer for like a Bollywood movie, maybe. You know. I think you do well. You. Waheguru. Thank you, thank you. Listen, I'm getting some fans in this. You know, Greg, it's one of those things, right? When you're magnetic to some and you're repulsive to others, right? Smooth criminal, yes. I have a degree in criminal justice. That's cool. Criminal justice. I didn't know that was a degree. I guess that's not in England, right? Or is that in England? Is that a degree they offer in England? Just a reminder, by the way. Mia. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, just a reminder, by the way, the satsang is still taking place 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. So don't forget to not in England law. Yeah, I guess America, right? Primal Wellness, what is your name, by the way? And yeah, as I said, satsang is happening tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. We're gonna be discussing emotions. I haven't decided. The satsang is an hour and a half at 2:30 p.m. UK time on Zoom. Thank you, Greg, for putting the link there. Wait, that's your name? Wait, that's your name? The hat sistical what? He means throws those. I don't get it. I hate my neighbors, they go to satsang. That is freaking hilarious. That is so funny. Why would you say that? What's to hate about that? You know, one thing I like my sister, for example, right? My sister is always saying things like, oh my god, like that's such a millennial thing to say. Such a millennial, such a millennial, such a millennial, such a millennial, you know? Or like just she always says things that if I was still in my ego, obviously sometimes I am, you know? But if I was like deep in my ego like I used to be, I would probably get triggered at every other thing that she says. But I said to her today, you know, she was trying, like she tries to trigger me. I know she does. And it's funny because I said to her, in that moment, I realized everything. I realized, because I said to her, I said, you know, I love you. I said, I love that you teach me patience. You try to, you know, like trigger my ego because you constantly think, oh, you're just a millennial, you're just like this, you're just like that, you're just like this, even if it's as a joke, would have triggered me at some point in my life in the past, but it doesn't now, you know. And even if it does at times, I'm aware that this is me, it's not her. Like she can say whatever she wants, but it's my like I'm responsible for how I behave, you know, and my reactions. So yeah, and in that moment, I was like, whoa. You know, all those times where you blame other people when they're like triggering you or being mean to you or whatever. They're actually just teaching you something and you should just be grateful for them, you know? Like, let it go. Okay, your name is, you are Howden Sony. Howden Sony. Did I get that, that is, that's your name? Not because they go there, they're just annoying. Oh, that's so funny. Do I not get bored talking so much? It's not, no, I don't get bored talking so much. Do you get bored listening? Maybe that's the wrong question, you know? Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day today. I will see everybody who's going to be, I am still, so I guess I'm not bored. Yeah, you're still here, I guess you're not. Okay, lol. Howden Sony is the Iroquois Confederacy. I have no, I don't know what that is. You also sing so well, you don't... Waheguru. Oh my god. Okay, Karthik. Thank you. Hi, Nishad. Yeah, I do, I do live, not every day, but whenever I can, often. I also hold a satsang, so I know I keep mentioning, but I have satsang on Sundays, where it's like this, but you have a more, it's a more like sacred container where we have discussions on different topics that, and different themes that are themes of the week. It happens every Sunday. It happens on Zoom, so if you're anywhere in the world, you're very welcome to join. What kind of Indian are you? Why? You don't have Zoom. Okay, it's for free. You can download it. It's not gonna charge you anything. You can get it on your phone. You can get it on your laptop. Anywhere. It's like just a simple app. You so what happens is you get from my bio, when you book into the satsang, you get a link, and then you'll just get a link to the Zoom, you know? You don't even have to download the app, I think. You can do it on your server, I believe. Why did you choose Scorpio Sage as your name? You know, like a few people have asked me that. I actually forgot why I did that. I don't know. I think I wanted something to do with sage, like a woman with wisdom. So she says. And I don't know, I was getting some ideas from ChatGPT, and Scorpio Sage seemed like a thing. I think at that point I was learning that yes, I am Scorpio. I was becoming to terms with the fact that I was a Scorpio, you know, my dark side, so it kind of just made sense. But you know, it's interesting because recently I've been thinking about changing it so that people can have a more a clearer understanding of who I am and what I do. So if anybody has any names that they want to suggest, I'm open to them. Adele, no to what? And someone just had to go, right? I forgot to tell you, I had a baby girl. Congratulations! Lakshmi has entered your home. Wow, blessings upon blessings, eh? Absolutely, I manifest constantly. Oh, I love that, Adele. I don't know if you heard Adele, but I was sharing about, you probably did hear, about the satsang I hold every Sunday. It would be great to see you there. So you mean that your sign is a Scorpio, because only then it makes sense. Yeah, my sign is a Scorpio. Interesting. Scorpio people are bad. Okay. I seem so knowledgeable in technology. Wow, I think that you're like the first person who's ever said that to me. Waheguru. Am I? Okay. You just see the best in everything, I think. You know, maybe that's it. I meant internal ethnicity, which Indian state. Punjab. You're a Scorpio too. Nice. YouTube brought me back. Hey, Mr. One. Mr. One, like I said, you know, if this is something that really interests you, tomorrow I'm holding a satsang that is like a smaller group where it'll be live on Zoom. So you can like, I can see you, you can see me, you can ask me questions, you can speak to other people. I think Greg put in the link, but if it's in my bio as well. Casualty, you're very interesting. The only reason I stuck around is because you look like my sister that I don't like. So it's like a love-hate relationship then. Do you believe in numerology? Yeah, numbers, vibrations, right? Where are you from? You look Indian. I'm Indian. In this, you know, this lifetime. Do Scorpios hold grudges, or is it just me? The thing is, there are different stages to a Scorpio, you know? So the Scorpio is a sign of transformation. So they go through like different levels. So yeah, I can hold grudges, I used to, but it's about like transformation and getting out of that and going from like, I believe someone told me on live that there are 7 levels of it. So you should check it out, like the 7 levels of being a Scorpio. I believe being like a Scorpio is the only sign that has that. People, how can you believe in star signs? Okay, Primal Wellness, goodbye. See you tomorrow. Things affect you, you know, of course. It's about how you carry yourself, but some things are beyond your control, I think, at times. Okay, I gotta go now. I'm gonna go. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for your participation. Karthik, you're gonna have to join the satsang tomorrow. You love trolling me. You know it's hilarious when you do, to be honest. But yeah, Karthik, we have to see you. Anybody else, if you'd like to be in the satsang, the link is in my bio. Okay. You really believe in astrology? What have the planets done to upset you? Okay, well, the sun affects you, right? The satsang is at 2:30 p.m. UK time tomorrow. The link is in my bio. So if you go on my bio, it has let's go satsang. Okay, well, I expect to see you guys there. Thanks for enjoying the rest of your day. What's that video saying you? I will do. Thank you, Greg. So yes, the link is in my bio for the satsang, okay? I shall see you there. And now I should bid you farewell. Thank you again for being here. Bye. Bye. Okay, say bye now. But I'll go. There we go. Greg's posted the link. Satsriya called you. I'll just leave it. I'll just be here for a bit for you so you can like access the link if you need. See you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, bye.